Hey there, I'm Lindsay, and this is Dan, and these are our two doodle bops, Lincoln and Rocky. For years, we were saying one day we'll travel more, one day we'll see all the national parks and stop trading our dreams for deadlines. We finally stopped waiting for the perfect time and decided to make the time now. We sold what we didn't need, bought a used Airstream, and hit the road. Not because everything was figured out, but because we were ready to figure it out as we went. We were creating this channel to take you along with us as we learn what it's really like to live on the road as new RVers. We'll be documenting our travels through national parks and sharing the real life lessons of RV life and hopefully inspiring you to take your dream you've been saving for some time and start living it. Our first trip with the Airstream ended up being a 3-day trip to Utah.
We are all packed up and on our way to Moab. We are staying 3 nights, 4 days in Moab at the end of March, which we think is around the best time to go. We are going to be arriving and it should be about 80-degree weather. We're all packed up with the boys and our Airstream in the back. We're passing through the Silverton and Frisco area right now where there's a small amount of snow, and we should be arriving in about 4 hours.
After a long 6-hour drive from Denver, we finally made it to Moab, Utah. We drove through the downtown to get to our campground, which was right off the main road tucked behind. We chose to stay at Moab RV Campground for this stay. We liked it because it was tucked behind off the main road, so we didn't get as much sound and light pollution. It also had many options for stays like cabins, teepees, as well as a variety of pull-through sites. We got to our campsite and had a 30-amp full hookup site with a pull-through spot. The campground overall was not very crowded and we got to setting up right away. We always keep the boys in the car while we set up initially until we're fully set up with stabilizers. We checked first to make sure that the spot was level and put our chocks under our wheels. We use this long leveler. We have tried smaller ones and just find that this one works the best. We kind of take on different roles when we get started. Dan kind of goes for unhitching the truck from the trailer, as well as putting the stabilizers and the dump tank. And then I'm in charge of doing electrical and doing our water hookups. Our Airstream back storage compartment holds all of our gear, and we separate it with labeled bags like electric, water, and black tank. Dan's over here doing our black tank, and all the hookups and setup is done on the driver's side of the trailer. Getting started was definitely a learning curve, but as we go, we've gotten much faster. We bought a 2023 20 FB Caravelle. That was used. We feel like it was lightly used, but we really liked this model. It came with a dinette storage up top, and then the big seller for us was also the kitchen. I like to cook a lot, so having a lot of counter space as well as a place for us to put drying rack for dishes was a huge selling point. So we like this model because it also kind of separates the kitchen from the dinette. We also decided to choose this model for the nice separated bathroom. There's a good substantial shower that has a clothesline. Dan's 6'3", so it's a little tight for him height-wise, but the sink had ample counter space and storage below, as well as a porcelain toilet and a foot flush. And then in the main living space, there is a dinette that converts to another additional bed, and then a large refrigerator with a TV. The main bed is a queen/full size. It's a little tight for 2 people and 2 dogs, but we make it work. As far as the rest of the night went, we just kind of had a low-key night, chilled in the Airstream, made some dinner, and listened to our favorite band, Camp.
First Point and do a little hike with our puppers. Afterwards, I think we're going to drive through the Canyonlands and do a little off-roading.
Very nice.
When we got to Dead Horse State Park, we saw that a lot of people were biking and there was even a place for e-bike rentals. We'll definitely try that next time. We paid $20 for a 2-day pass and made our way straight to the overlook point. We did both the west and the east side trails. The west side had a bit more of a paved path, and then the east side had this more rocky terrain with yellow strips to mark the trails. These trails are dog friendly, just make sure that your dogs are kept on a leash at all times, especially as the trail approaches closely to the rim. The rim itself shows an overlook of the Canyonlands West Rim Trail, and 2,000 feet below lies the Colorado River. Dead Horse Point State Park Overlook has the breathtaking panoramic Red Rock Canyons with the winding Colorado River below. And just below these are the solar evaporation ponds at the nearby Potash mining operations. Over 3,000 feet beneath the surface lies a paradox formation, a salt-rich layer deposited hundreds of millions of years ago. This creates a key valuable potash ingredient which is used in fertilizer, and the water is pumped from the Colorado River into these subterranean deposits. The salt is then mined once dried and evaporated. After viewing this breathtaking overlook, we decided to make our way to Canyonlands National Park. Dan started to air down our tires and we made our way down the White Rim Trail to Potash Road. Exactly. Just the name that came from the solar evaporation ponds. So we hopped in and got ready for a bumpy ride. We did bring the pups with us. Just keep in mind if you do this road, it is nice and winding and it is only just barely wide enough to fit 2 cars. If you do run into another vehicle coming the other way, it's best practice to stop and let them go by if you have a space to pull over. definitely a bumpy way down. If we were to do it again, I'm not sure if we'd bring the pups along, but we typically like to bring them along for all of our adventures. After about an hour and a half drive, we were at the bottom of the canyon and looked out across the Colorado River. After such a long time in the car, the pups were aching to get out. We let them out and took them on a walk through the red dirt sand, right next to where the solar evaporation ponds were. It was pretty cool to see all the progress we made today, from observing from the overlook and looking down upon the valley to being below the canyons and right next to the solar evaporation ponds. From this point, it was about another hour back to our campsite. It took us down Potash Road, hugging the canyon walls, and back onto the main road passing through downtown Moab. After a long day of hiking and driving, we decided to have a nice, cozy ramen dinner. We cooked on our outside Eureka stove. We got some nice steaks from the butchery down the road, and we're going to have a nice fire pit with our lava box and cuddle with our babies. We started our day 2 with a dog-friendly hike located off of Highway 128. This hike is called Grandstaff Trail and is only 4.3 miles out and back, as well as a 383-foot gain. The hike itself leads you to a beautiful sandstone rock formation called the Morning Glory Natural Bridge. For this hike, it also has creekside and winds through 2 canyons with partial shade. We chose this so that our dogs could go in and out of the creek as they pleased and weren't getting too hot. The sandstone did make them a little bit muddy, but it was all worth it for the joy and the rock climbing that our pups got to explore. With our pups tired and happy and covered in red dirt, we made our way back home and gave them some nice outdoor showers and fed them some extra crunchies before heading out to our next destination, which is the Arches National Park. This is our 4th time visiting the Arches National Park, so having and knowing our way around, we headed straight towards the window arches, which are some of our favorite. We have also done the Fiery Furnace and as well as Delicate Arch and some other more famous arches. But for a short, quick, not too strenuous hike, we always make our way to the window arches. We've also gone to these arches for sunset and sunrise. Highly recommend sunset.
to our home in Colorado. We've had an amazing trip. Definitely wouldn't change anything. It's definitely a great first trip for the Airstream and getting acquainted. I don't think there were any huge issues, just some small upgrades that we're thinking about, as well as learning some kind of troubleshooting things like needing to tighten our air fan in our Dometic AC. But all things that are part of the learning process, and we're very excited to continue the many adventures to come. We currently are driving 128, which is a road that hugs the Colorado River, surrounded by canyons. It's really quite beautiful. It adds about 20 minutes to our drive, but totally worth it for all the views. We used to rooftop tent camp before we got the Airstream, and we would camp along this river, the Colorado River, off of 128. There's tons of dry camp spots, tons of free camp spots for dispersed camping, as well as paid. They do fill up first come, first serve really quick. We've been in situations where we've worried about getting campsite as it gets dark, so we definitely recommend arriving early to snag a camp spot if you are going to dry camp along the river. We did find kind of a hidden gem off of one of the roads. As you go towards the La Salle Mountains, there's a bunch of dispersed campsite spaces. That has been really enjoyable. We've camped there twice now when we were having trouble finding a camp spot off of the river. And honestly, it was really beautiful because we got views of both the canyon and the La Salle Mountains. But again, it's really hit or miss if you can get campsites out here, which is why we wanted our first trip to be at an RV spot. We used Harvest Hosts for the first time, and it was super enjoyable, really easy to book, and good hip camp. Oh, is that what we did? Yes. Oops, we did hip camp.
HipCamp is an app that you can download on your phone. Full disclaimer, this is not ad sponsored. This is simply because we enjoy using it. It's easy to search. You can enter locations or dates and guest counts. Where we stayed, you can see that this is the link to Moab RV and Glamping Resort. It has different locations. We've used HipCamp about 5 different times now, and I've enjoyed every single stay. You can select a date, look at different descriptions, look at pictures that other people have posted, as well as look at the reviews.
Rocky and I say thank you for watching our video on Moab, Utah. We hope you enjoyed watching, and we hope to inspire you to get out there and adventure more. If you like what you saw, please hit that like button below. Also hit the subscribe button if you want to continue on our adventures with us. Thank you so much.